Hey everyone, Lance here. I wanted to put together a Salehoo review in video form for you for a couple reasons. One, Salehoo has updated their membership, and so I want to give you an updated behind the scenes look at what that looks like, some of the changes. There were a lot of great things that have been done. Secondly, I've been a member for over 2 years, and so I've actually used Salehoo for selling online, drop shipping, finding products for wholesale. So I wanted to give you that in-depth perspective. I've seen other reviews out there where someone either hasn't ever been a member and they're trying to do a Salehoo review, or they briefly just kind of go in there and give you an idea of a behind-the-scenes look, but they haven't actually used Salehoo as a member themselves, or for buying products or sourcing products for drop shipping or buying wholesale. So I really want to give you that in-depth perspective there. Check the description box below for additional resources and updates. So with that, let's go ahead and get onto Salehoo. So here we have basically, once you have your membership, this is what it will look like when you're in the wholesale directory. So it's broken up by categories. You can click on something like home and garden, and you'll have a list of companies in the home and garden. You can see if it's an American company or from the UK, Canadian. So that's nice that at a glance you can see that. Now, one thing probably you're immediately thinking, or at least what I think, is, okay, cool, can I sort by American companies? Or I'm a Canadian, can I just sort by Canadian companies? And that's where they don't quite have that up here yet. So that to me would be one of the cons, is the ability to really search and save time that way. Really, one of your best bets is you can type something like Canadian in here. So that's not too bad. And then you get the Canadian companies in home and garden, and then you can break it down. You just want related to bath, something like that, soap, and so to speak. So pretty good. Again, I would prefer if you could narrow it down a little bit better. But let's see. So let's say you're looking for like dog or pet products. So we could put, let's say pet, and you're kind of searching all categories because you're not sure maybe where pets are. And so come down here and you start seeing, okay, cool, here's some pet companies. American Pet Pro, so you could start there. And so let me now show you kind of what it looks like. So you have their website over here, contact information, ships internationally. So yes, so at a glance, this is great. Maybe you're not from the U.S. and you want to be able to have products sent to you, to have an idea of whether they do that. Do they have a minimum order? No minimum order. So that's great. That means, well, the opposite of that would be minimum order might typically be something like $100, $200, or $300. That's pretty average for a wholesale or dropship company. So what this means with no minimum is they probably do offer drop shipping because there's no minimum purchase requirement there. So the brands they cover, a little description about the company. Now the other thing, this is what I love about Salehoo, is there's all these reviews that you can find. This is one I've written. That's me here. And so you have a brief introduction here. I gave this one 4 stars. And then you can check out the entire review. And for my reviews, I usually have like an introduction. I talk about what do you need to create an account. Like here, there's no need for a business license. I think that's helpful. There's a lot of companies in here that you can get connected with, and you don't need to be an official reseller or have a business license. So that's helpful to know. And here I talk about drop shipping. So technically they can drop ship, but it will have their company information included. So that's important to know. And again, that's where these reviews come into play, is up here. You might get the impression that, okay, yeah, they offer drop shipping. There's no minimum order. That's cool. But you go down and you read a review, you get a little bit more of the story. So it has their company information. That may be a deal breaker. You may want to include your information. You might want to include, to brand it yourself. Maybe that's not a problem. Either way, the information is here, so you can make a decision if you want to move forward in contacting this company or not. And then I like to go in and talk about products and pricing. For instance, there are no minimum purchase amounts, so I confirm that. If you're interested in purchasing in quantities of 100 or more, they're most likely going to give you a bigger discount. So again, that's helpful information. And here I talk about like the real deal. Okay, um, most of these items aren't something you would find on, say, Amazon, but the good news is that if you do find an item on that's on Amazon, this company seems to offer for less. But you'll probably need to purchase in bulk in order to not get killed on shipping costs. So here's an example. There's a 4-ounce bottle of OptiClear. It sells for $9 shipped on Amazon. That same bottle sells for $4.50 at American Pet Pro. So that's about half off. That's awesome. But shipping is $15. So your total cost comes to $20. But if you can afford to spend $550, then the shipping is free. And so it's, again, high quality products. So this is great. This saves you a lot of time. You could go and find this information out yourself, but the fact that someone like myself took the time to review this and kind of break this down, it helps you get this information quicker. You can make a better decision. You may be like, you know what, no way. I have maybe $200 tops I could spend on a wholesale purchase. So you just move on. You go to another company. Someone else may think, okay, yeah, I got $500. I could do that, and I like that you're making about a 50% margin here. That's pretty cool. And so you then decide to go dig a little bit deeper. Talk about the return and guarantee policy. Talk about selling on eBay or Amazon, and that's important. Not all companies allow you to do that. Talk about how are they to deal with. You know, sometimes you have companies that are super friendly, super cool to talk to, but their pricing is more like retail discount pricing. It's not like true wholesale pricing. Or the opposite. Great pricing, but they're really tough to get on the phone or really tough to talk to, or they, don't speak English well. Whatever it is, that I like to give you some of those insights. Shipping, what can you expect? This is important too. Some companies are great. They'll ship out within 1 business day. On average, it's between 1 to 2 business days. But sometimes they'll take a couple days or a week. And if you're drop shipping, that can be a big deal, especially on Amazon. You want to get out if you're reselling on Amazon or even eBay, but especially Amazon, you want your products to go out ideally within 1 business day, no more than 2. Amazon doesn't like it, the customers don't like it, and so that's going to affect you. So that's important to know, so I like to put that in here. And then my overall summary. So if you see my reviews, because I have, like I said, a ton in here, sometimes you can just skip right down to the summary if you're in a hurry, and I'll give you my overall impressions here. So this is, again, a huge benefit of Salehoo's directory, is you don't just get this great information about the company, but you get these awesome reviews by a power seller. There's power seller reviews. There's just your normal member reviews. Anyone can write a review. I write reviews as well, and so that's something that is a huge time saver. You could find out this information yourself, but it takes me a little bit. I contact the company. Sometimes I can't get in touch with them right away. Sometimes it takes a day or two for them to get back to me, or sometimes I do get them on the phone and then I talk to them for 20 or 30 minutes. So, like I said, huge time saver. You can, after this, reading a review like this, have a good idea. Do you want to spend more time on this company now or move on to another one? So, anyway, I don't want to spend probably more time on that. Again, if you have questions on these things, feel free to post a comment below. Please do, or go to my blog, post a comment there, and I can go into more detail. But this is an important part of the Salehoo, so I did want to spend a little bit of time on that. So again, going back to the directory, hopefully that gives you an idea of kind of how that works. Now, let me talk about, and this is kind of going into the pros and cons and complaints. Well, I don't know if this would be a con, but a complaint about Salehoo. So one of the complaints people have is they will go, let's just try cameras and photos, and let's try Worldwide Products Unlimited. I'm just going to the first one here, and they will go something like this. They're like, I want to, okay, there's no reviews here. You can see there's no reviews been written on this company yet. And not every company in here has a review. So just to clarify that. But they may, go ahead and go and check out the website here. So we'll go see what it looks like. And they'll go contact this company. And maybe the company doesn't get back in touch with them. Or maybe they get in touch with the company and the pricing is similar to what people are selling products for on eBay. And so their first thought is, "Oh my goodness, this whole thing's a scam. I just got scammed. These companies are junk. What's up with this?" And so just to kind of clarify here, not every company in the directory is a golden nugget, amazing company. Um, Now, that could be both a pro and a con. I see it as a benefit. Here's why. Because you could go, let's say you're searching in Google for a company, and you find this WPU online, and you think, oh wow, I wonder if this is good company. So you can go into Salehoo, type it in here, and see if there's any reviews about it. There may not be, so that's unfortunate. But if there are, you can see what did people say, what was their experience, and there's companies in here that I've given a 1 or 2 star review for, and so how cool is that if even though it is a 1 or 2 star, now you don't have to go call and waste your time trying to find that out for yourself. Or worse yet, maybe you don't contact the company, but you just go and purchase something, and then you have a bad experience and you waste your money. So that's where the directory is nice, that they do include both the good and the bad companies, or not so great companies, is that it can save you time. The downside is if you don't understand that about this directory, you can go in here, look at a handful of companies, and find just some duds. There's some duds in here, and think, oh, this whole directory is nothing but a scam. It's nothing but junk. Not the case at all. But I understand where someone could get that perception. So I did want to kind of clarify and talk about that. So let's see. So as far as quality of the companies in the directory, lots of great companies. Like I said, I found some dynamite companies as a result of this, both in terms of the products they offer, also in terms of just the people. There's some really awesome companies that I would have never found just trying to Google them, or it would have been really tough. It would have even taken me longer. So they're in there. And that goes back to my bonus. It took me a lot of time to find some of these companies. So that's my bonus to you if you end up getting the membership through my link. Is just forward me your receipt and I'll get that to you, that PDF. It's a head start. It gives you a jump start on some great companies to contact. Not to say that every company on there is one you'll end up wanting to work with, but at least it gives you a starting point, so to speak. So other pros and cons. Pros of the membership. So I talked about just the directory itself. Let me talk about the training. This is something they've updated here, which is phenomenal. I mean, just the directory alone is worth the money. I mean, if they did nothing else and that's all they had, it's well worth it. I mean, the time you save and so forth. But they take it to the next level. And they have this whole training center that they've added or updated, I should say. And this is amazing. I've purchased lots and lots of different, from whether it's internet marketing or online training courses. And the value you get here is awesome. So let me just talk about, so eBay. Let's say you wanted to sell on eBay. We got advanced eBay training, wholesale sourcing. You can go over here and start diving into the training they have. This is written at a level that even if you're brand new, they've got you covered. It's not going to be over your head. They really write from that perspective. Now, that means, okay, so what if you are seasoned, you've been on eBay, you've been on Amazon, you have stores already, and you're just trying to find some good companies, or is this training any helpful for you? Yeah, I found, even for myself, I've been around the block quite a bit, and I still find good information in here. There's this whole bonus guide section I want to show you as well. So this is important. These are some additional guides. Salehoo New User Manual. I encourage you to check that out. They have the ins and outs of drop shipping here, how to find fantastic suppliers. What's cool about this guide is it's not just how to find fantastic suppliers in Salehoo, but it's how to find them on Google as well. Talk about how to work with Chinese suppliers, how to find Chinese suppliers. So how do you spot a bad supplier? Again, lots of great stuff, and this is just one of the guides. There's several in here. Guide to selling electronics, fashion. So this is, again, really, really cool. I mean, these guides, you could sell individually, but they just have it all in here for you, talking about your website, setting up a business, sourcing products, importing and shipping, scam prevention. So I could probably do a whole nother video on just their training center because there's so much in here, and that's actually a pretty good idea. I should do that, but here at least I can scroll down so you can kind of see, and you can pause it if you want and stare at it in a little more detail. But it's a lot, even setting up your business, on taxes, things like that. Sourcing your products, stuck on what to sell, pros and cons of drop shipping. Let me show you the other ones here. Stuck on what to sell, get the best wholesale prices. And so these are actually whole lessons you can click on. Some of them are video. Let me go show you a video one too real quick here. Let's see, 7 eBay selling tips. So they'll go through.
So that you can capture more interest from buyers and make more sales. To make sales in a competitive online marketplace such as eBay,
so here
to the search toolbar.
They're talking about some selling tips.
By using eBay's research lab.
Yeah, and this is great. They're talking about things you may know this on eBay, but it's things sometimes I forget about, or I've learned things too. Labs.ebay is great. There's another thing where they talk about eBay Pulse in another one of these videos. So again, there's so much in here. There's just I was really happy and impressed to see that. So they also have a forum, and the forum is great too. You can post questions. How does eBay Pulse work? So maybe you went and watched the video, something wasn't clear. You can post your response here, and here's someone getting back to it. So Rochelle is saying, from what I read, so here's someone's question. I guess I'll let you, kind of go through. And Grace, she's a great member of Salehoo here as well, and you can see people talking about this. And so that's where, now they're talking about eBay Pulse. Okay, eBay Pulse is closed down, but that's where we have research. They have the research labs, and I can talk about that too here in a second. That's their own version of eBay Pulse. So yeah, that's something great here that you can check out and enjoy that as well. So I think I've covered. They also have the e-commerce blog here. Again, some more information. This is nice. It's just a little bit of an extra. I don't know that you'd use it a ton, but there's some nice articles, like 34 ideas what to sell this fall and winter. So here's some things on fashion, and this is actually helpful. If you're not sure where to start, this is a great place to start. And they give a lot of really helpful advice. Alice is great about finding new niches or new products that you may not think of, and then you can go into the directory and see if you can find a good supplier. And then sometimes they'll even show you, hey, here's some suppliers you can start out with to contact. Check the description box below. If there's any updates I have, any relevant links, I'll put those in the description box. Also put the link if you do want to go ahead and purchase this. Go ahead and I encourage you, get it through my link. The nice thing about doing that, again, is you'll get that list of suppliers that you can get started with. These are 5-star companies, and then also you'll have access to me. I encourage you, you get stuck or you come across something you're not sure about, I'm happy to help if I can. But if you have some questions or comments, post them below here, or I'll include the link to my full review with the blog on my blog post, which is over at reviewsbylance.com, and that is in the description below as well. So bottom line, if you're looking for a directory to get wholesale companies, dropship companies from, this is well worth it. Well worth it. It'll save you time from having to find them in Google yourself. And the other thing is you'll find companies in Salehoo that you just won't find on Google, or it would be like the whole needle in a haystack type of thing. I mean, you could search page after page, or just try different search engine queries to find it. But the bottom line is just the time it'll save you is huge. And they have companies in there that, like I said, 99% sure I would have never found on Google. It's just they're just too far removed there. So again, hope this review was helpful. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys later.